Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025. I was just laid off.
So I'm 6 months pregnant and my position was just eliminated from my job. And I'm honestly not surprised. They've been eliminating positions since honestly January of last year. But
Do you know how to look into the future and see if your company's going to do layoffs in 2025? You don't have to wait for any news articles. You don't have to read any investor reports. You can see it in December when they invite you to their holiday party. If your company is balling out, they're not holding back, they're doing everything, food, drinks, everything, you're going to be safe.
What's up, Financial Hawks? So in today's video, we're going to be going over some more layoffs and again, tech related layoffs. I'm currently in tech right now. And at least from my current, friend group or whatnot, it's looking like it's still pretty good right now if you're still in it. I'm not saying too much down here, in the South versus, some of the other people, more in Midland and North. But apparently we're still getting a lot of tech layoffs in other areas. And I want to go ahead and just go over some videos, addressing this. I kind of give some of my advice on what I would do if I was in, certain situations like some of these people here. But yeah. Some of these people are talking about actually not getting in tech right now, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, let's go ahead and start out with the first video and yeah, we'll go from there.
Recently happening, you realize that even though that have been recently happening, you realize that even though you're very loyal to your job is not very loyal to you. At any moment, you truly could be fired. And so, to the people who have been giving their health, their life, their soul to their job, it's truly just not worth it because to your company, you're truly just a number, an employee. And even though everybody says they care about you at work, they really don't. I feel like when you're in the corporate world for 7 or 8 years, work becomes such a huge part of your identity and such a huge part of your life that it feels very do or die, when in reality, work is truly just a job. I know I'm being very cynical, but I like to be very practical when it comes to my mindset with work and how I set boundaries.
Okay. I think that was the first good one. Now, I guess going over the second part, really the job loyalty, because he didn't really talk about, getting laid out at your tech job per se, that, there's more are coming, you got AI, you got other different things, coming in the United States that you're getting affected by a lot of different things for you to get a job here. So the job loyalty. Now, I do agree for most jobs. I'm not gonna say 100% of jobs. I'm not gonna say 100%, but I will say like a majority, probably 90%. You gotta watch out for it. You really are just a number. I think there are still jobs out there or still companies out there that actually do care about the employees. I feel like my current company does compared to a lot of the other companies I've worked for. But yeah, just always being cognizant of your current, job, your current surroundings. If you're seeing, people getting laid off and you can maybe seeing the news and whatnot, brushing up your resume, working on your LinkedIn will not hurt you. You'll just be cognizant of everything. Yeah, definitely don't want to be just super blind, but yeah, if you feel like your job is currently on the line right now, if you're seeing people maybe getting laid off right now at your current company, maybe in a similar position or similar role or et cetera, department, yeah, you working on your resume and working on your LinkedIn will not hurt you. And again, you can start applying to jobs anytime. And nothing says that you have to actually go to that company. So if you apply to a job and go through a couple interviews, or maybe just one interview, or maybe two, or I guess depending on how much time you got, just so you can, get in the groove of things again, to see how it is to apply to jobs now. Maybe first is what, 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years since you, last applied to a job. That will not hurt you. That will kind of just get you better. And again, you don't have to exactly, accept that position. But hey, you actually may be surprised that if you are getting interviews and whatnot, and you're going through these, routines and whatnot, you actually may find a higher paying role that's something like, that's similar to what you're currently doing or something that you aspire to be doing that you may actually be eligible for that you're not even aware of. So yeah. Nothing wrong with not brushing up your resume, brushing up your LinkedIn, brushing up all that, especially if you're seeing the signs at your job. Just because you see 2, 3, 4 other people, just don't be blind. Like, okay, well, they got laid off in the same department. That won't happen to me. No, it can happen to you. But also, too, it can come out of nowhere. And like that's so true. It can definitely come out of nowhere. I've done some videos before talking about people who were like I think expected, yeah, to go into work and then like just going in, they got laid off, like the whole company like went out. And it's like, dang, just like that, right before Christmas, pretty much. And they're just laying off everybody. It's like, dang, right before Christmas, you couldn't wait until January. But yeah, I'll say at least for about 90% of these jobs, they really don't care for you. Maybe even 95%. I might even go even higher because at the end of the day, these jobs, you are just a number. But I'm not gonna say 100%. I will definitely not say 100%. I will not say 100%. But yeah, these companies, especially with a lot of people, I feel like, yeah, you're just a cog in a large machine. But yeah, let's go ahead and see this next video, see what she's talking about here. Hopefully she can give us
I've said this before
maybe some good insight, but we will see.
and I say it again. I currently work in the tech industry and I do not encourage you to try to get into the tech industry right now. And this is common. Each industry is going to have their ups and downs. And just right now, a lot of tech companies are not hiring. That does not mean your skill set cannot be used elsewhere. And let me elaborate. There is so many different industries that you can be a developer, that you can work in HR, that you can work in finance, that you can be a data analyst. I'm a data analyst. If I were to get fired right now, I would start looking at hospitals, healthcare industry, biotechnology industry, the government, like anything that is government affiliated, just because that's a more secure industry. Do your research and look at different trends. What is going to be a industry that's going to thrive in 2025? Yeah, some of these industries do not pay as well as how technology companies used to pay, but a job is a job, and job security is really important right now.
Okay. I don't think all of that was actually bad. I think there was some pretty good points, but some points I don't necessarily agree with. The first thing is like it's just giving up on tech jobs, or maybe she was meaning like tech companies, but because he said you can use your skill set at other companies. So yeah, if you're just applying to just tech companies, yeah, 100% agree. You don't have to like if you want to do cybersecurity, you don't have to work at a company that only does cybersecurity at all. Like, no, you can work at other companies who need cybersecurity people. If you're like coding or whatnot, you don't have to work at a company that only deals with coding. You can deal, like you can work at other companies. So you don't have to work in that like in that same, I guess, role or company. And like in that sense, yeah, that sense, I 100% agree. But like, yeah, if you just like going to just give up, I guess, in tech right now because you're seeing a whole lot of people getting laid off. There's other roles, other positions, et cetera, and other companies that are also getting laid off, and not just tech companies. Everybody's getting laid off, and I may actually start doing more videos talking about everybody else getting laid off. So, I mean, with that logic, it's like, okay, I should apply anywhere. I should go ahead and just work at a fast food joint since they're not, I guess, get laid off as quickly or randomly as everybody else. Like, no, I think if you are interested, and I guess like in a tech, in tech or whatnot, yeah, you can look at other like positions or roles. Maybe you may not be able to get your current role. Maybe you might go down a bit just so you can have some money coming in if necessary. But yeah, you can still apply to other jobs, that you're currently, looking for within tech. You're looking to become a, software engineer. You can still apply to software engineering jobs. And during this time period too, you can use this time to upskill. You can use this time to, work on different projects or whatnot to better your resume, better your GitHub, et cetera, so that you're more likely to get hired. Again, I know everybody doesn't have necessarily like the money to do that if you don't have any type of income coming in. And yeah, in that case, yeah, you can still apply to some type of tech role, but maybe something lower. Maybe you might do support, maybe like tech support or something along those lines. But you can still have some money coming in. You don't have to just be like, okay, well, I can't do tech anymore. So let me just become a car technician or something like that. Like, I don't believe you do all of that now. You just have to, switch your whole life around right now. It's going to get better in tech. Like, at least what I've been seeing, it seems like it's always been like a big circle. I guess, well, like all of these different jobs too. It's not like the first time there's been layoffs, but I think it's definitely a big circle. And I have, at least in my Discord, I have been seeing a uptick in jobs. At least it's like January of like new jobs, new roles. Now, again, I'm not sure you're going to be able to get it if you have no experience. So having experience is also important. So look at some other videos on that. But yeah, I just want to just give up on yourself already. So, we're just starting out the year. But yeah, if you need to make some extra money, yeah, you can go a lower role, but you can still be in tech. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what she's talking about here. She just got laid off again, times two. Okay. I'm intrigued to see why she got laid off the first time and then this current time.
I just got laid off from my job.
This is the third time I've been a part of mass layoffs in the last 4 years. Basically, this morning, my manager's boss sent me an email saying he wanted to catch up for a little bit. I had a gut feeling that this was going to happen since I have been through it twice before. And lo and behold, I get on the call, and not only does my manager's boss join, but also someone from HR. I will say that this was the most empathetic layoff that I've been through. They were really sweet, gave me the space to feel everything I was feeling. For anyone that's going through something similar, that's not the situation often. A lot of times it's just kind of a business transaction. And that really sucks because you've grown to know these people, you've become friends with a lot of them. Leaving the company is one thing, but the connections that you've made, getting used to talking to the same people every day, of course you grow attached to them. I will say though, it is so, so important to remember this is not your fault if you are going through a layoff. It is simply a numbers game. Maybe they hired too many people for a project that they thought was really going to grow, but no longer is going in the direction that they expected and need to cut back on budgets there for whatever reason. It has nothing to do with who you are, what kind of worker you are. A layoff is very different from getting fired. Please, please keep that in mind and be kind to yourself. Again, this being my third time going through it, I think I was able to compose myself a lot quicker than I have in the past. I'm definitely not ready to just jump into looking for jobs or anything like that, but I do want to take some time to become like a better version of myself. I'm super excited to do more things that make me happy. Maybe I'll work out more or at all. Maybe I'll learn how to cook some new dishes. I used to be a really creative person. Maybe I'll start doing some little art projects here and there. So, yeah, keep your head up, do things that make you happy, find a good routine in your day. You'll get back on your feet before you even know it.
Okay. I think that was a very optimistic video. But first off, I guess my biggest thing, and maybe she said it, but I just don't remember. But I wonder what role does she currently have and what role did she have within these last 4 years? That can definitely be important to see why she was laid off 3 times in 4 years. Now, that's a lot. That's a lot. I've never seen that. I guess that happens to some people. That's like super bad luck. I feel like, dang. So hopefully you're not getting laid off like dang near every single year at your job. You may want to look at a different industry that you're currently applying to. Maybe you're like working, like you're in tech, maybe you're currently working in like, let's say, okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say you're working like in the beverage industry and you're doing cybersecurity for that. And you work for Coca-Cola, bam, they get you. Then you start working for Coca brand 55. I'm just saying something random. And then they get fired. And you work for another beverage company and then you're getting laid off too there. Maybe you may want to go to a different field. Maybe instead of that, maybe computers, maybe like a computer company or maybe like a streaming company. Use your tech skills there. But yeah, that's my first thing. This is crazy. 3 times, 4 years. That's crazy. But yeah, I think her advice about, you being able to, bounce back from that. I think that's definitely good. You don't want to get stuck. The other one, finding another way is to be creative. Nothing wrong with that as well. Finding, multiple sources of income. Nothing wrong with that. If you currently have a job right now, this is a great time to go ahead and maybe spend 30 minutes a day reading or maybe another 30 minutes trying to find something new that you can do. Maybe find some other ways that you can upskill yourself. So, maybe in the chance that you do get laid off, you may have a secondary source of income. You may have another skill set that you can use or you may realize that your current role is okay, but you want to go ahead and, go somewhere higher and grow yourself, grow your salary. There's a lot of things that you can do right now, guys. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to learn. I don't know what's wrong with my mic right now. It's not staying at the max. You got the Shure mic right here. So if I'm looking down really hard because that's why. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm too loud. Maybe that's why. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's my advice on that. But yeah, I just want to hear your guys' comments. Do you agree with her? Disagree? Have you actually got laid off 2 times? I mean, 3 times within 4 years? I'm definitely intrigued to see that. But I'm also, again, intrigued to see what type of current role that you're in that they just keep getting laid off. Because again, that may be a sign that, hey, this current role right now is not working. Maybe AI is taking over. Maybe, people from overseas are taking over this position. Maybe I might have to pivot to another position so that I won't get laid off the next year and then the next year and then the next year. Because yeah, that can really take a toll on you, especially after you get laid off and they're trying to apply to, X amount of jobs and then explain that within, the interview why you're getting laid off. That's just something to think about. This is something to think about. Now, next up, let's go ahead and see what he's talking about. Amazon lays off 14,000. Now, that's a insane amount of people. But yeah, dang, that sucks. But yeah, let's see what he's talking about here.
Amazon is firing 14,000 people, and they're all managers. So if you work for Amazon and don't like your manager, then it just might be your lucky day. Amazon layoffs. Tech firm to cut 14,000 manager positions by 2025, report says. Amazon is reportedly planning to reduce 14,000 managerial positions by early next year in a bid to save $3 billion annually, according to a Morgan Stanley report. This initiative is part of CEO Andy Jassi's strategy to boost operational efficiency by increasing the ratio of individual contributors to managers by at least 15% by March of 2025. Basically, there are too many people managing stuff and not enough people actually creating stuff that needs to be managed. And so Amazon wants to fix that. This initiative from the tech giant is designed to streamline decision making and eliminate bureaucratic hurdles, as reported by Bloomberg. JC highlighted the importance of fostering a culture characterized by urgency, accountability, swift decision-making, resourcefulness, frugality, and collaboration, with the goal of positioning Amazon as the world's largest startup. JC also introduced a bureaucracy tip line that allows employees to report unnecessary procedures that hinder their work, according to the report. So essentially, JC, the CEO, believes that Amazon has become too big and bloated, with too many cooks in the kitchen, and that is impacting the efficiency of the employees who actually produce stuff that makes the company money. So he's planning to change that by firing 14,000 people.
Wow. Okay.
Amazon is
Now, they say they're doing this for efficiency per se, laying out the 14,000. Yes and no. I think they're just trying to make more money, not to be honest. Now, it will become more efficient because they're getting more and more, I guess, machinery, AI, etc. within these companies like Amazon. And I feel like I've watched a YouTube video of the different machines within Amazon and like how they're like doing so much, with the packages, like sorting them and moving them here and there and like just moving. It's so freaking like technical. It's crazy, like the machinery they got there. Again, it makes it faster and it makes it more easy for, I guess, customers to be able to get products versus humans just going through, each of these packages and then trying to sort each of these out. Probably take a lot of man hours, et cetera, et cetera. But I feel like, again, it's like them laying out 14,000 people. I feel like there is different ways within that company and within like a lot of companies that you can find other jobs for these people. You can find other ways for these people to be able to still stay within the company, who probably are loyal to the company, and find them, ways for them maybe to like upskill themselves, for example. But again, I'm kind of just being, I guess pragmatic, or not necessarily pragmatic, but more or less like, I guess, optimistic for some of these companies. But in actuality, yeah, they should really care about the money. And yeah, like you could just write up any example of why you're going to lay off 14,000 people. And it's probably going to be even more and more and more. And again, I believe this video was in December. This is, at least the time I'm recording this, in January. So this is like right before, Christmas. So a lot of people who lost their job right before Christmas. Hopefully, the people who did get laid off, hopefully they can look at this as a sign that, hey, maybe I'm going to have to upskill myself in other ways so that next Christmas, I'm not in this same position. If you're looking for other ways, you can upskill yourself for free. You can use YouTube videos. There's so much you can learn for free online today. Especially on YouTube, you can see a whole bunch of examples of different things and go through those. If you're looking for like cybersecurity, for example, and you're like brand new, again, you can look at YouTube videos. You can get a free account for like Azure, for example, that will give you a set amount of credits that you can create your own virtual machines and kind of just go through different projects that other people are doing. Again, you're not going to have it for infinite time period, but you have a limited time period to go ahead and try a lot of different things out. And then you may have to change your email address and then reapply for another trial period. But there's ways, options for you guys to learn. It's another course. I cannot freaking think of it, but it's a guy. He does like hacking videos. I think this Cyber Mentor or something along those lines. He has some pretty good videos. They kind of go through hacking and other like more offensive side of things in cybersecurity that are great. Again, I'm just talking about just some of the cyber stuff. There's a plethora of different, videos or whatnot from dang near every genre and subject matter that you probably would be interested in, and, getting better, making more money, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, sucks. 14,000 people laid off. Pretty sure we're going to be seeing a whole lot more layoffs at Amazon. And now let's go. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's go ahead and play this one right here. See what he's talking about. No job in 2025 is stable, watch your own back. All right, let's see what he's talking about.
Can't be the only person noticing this, but I am seeing a lot of people posting about just getting laid off or actually recording their own layoffs. It's just a real reminder that this is not the same generation that our grandparents grew up in, where you could literally work a job for 20, 30, even 40 years and then retire nicely and just live a comfortable life. Nowadays, you constantly have to watch your bag. Doesn't matter if you've been at the company for 20 years or 30 years, you can get laid off in an instant. I'm seeing more and more people wake up with emails in their inbox with HR CC'd on it, which is an automatic sign that you're about to get laid off. So if you're working a 9 to 5, my advice is to network, build relationships, because if you get laid off, there's nothing worse than not being able to go to anybody. Make sure you have strong relationships in place. Make sure that your resume is up to date. Make sure you're keeping note of all your accomplishments while you still have access to that data. And my final piece of advice is if a recruiter like me reaches out and they have a job that you might be interested in, take the conversation, explore it, because right now your company won't be loyal to you and you don't owe them anything. And you literally need to watch your own back.
Okay, okay. I think this was actually pretty good advice. It's just something to be mindful for in this 2025. Again, I've been seeing it mainly on YouTube and TikTok and whatnot about all the different, companies, laying off people again and again. And some of these videos I'm doing here again with the Amazon, freaking 14,000 last month, which is crazy. And I think it's going to continue. I think that's good advice about if you usually get a HR person, she's trying to talk to you, nothing wrong. We're talking with them. Again, they can help you out with your interview skills, which is good. And you can possibly see a job that you actually may be good at that actually pay you more than your current company that you probably weren't even aware of. So yeah, I've talked about this plenty of times. You focusing, oh, well, not you focusing, but yeah, you just spending some time, maybe 30 minutes a day here and there, just brushing up your resume, like for like a week, brushing up your LinkedIn, for that week, nothing wrong with that. If you get some recruiters, say again, you don't have to necessarily take the job if you're talking to the recruiters, but you can go ahead and use this to gauge the field, gauge what other companies, what software they're using and whatnot, so that you're maybe more prepared, in your transition if you do get laid off, or maybe there may be some software that your current company may end up going towards. So if you're already aware of it, you can go ahead and, spend some time learning it. And again, kind of just putting yourself at a better position. You can use this as experience to work on your interview skills so that again, if you did get laid off later on, at least you were more prepared because you've already done some interviews for fun. So you're less stressed. That's great because man, you not having a job and you trying to apply and talking to recruiters, you probably a whole lot more stress because again, you need this job. Well, if you already have a job already and you're doing interviews, you're a whole lot less stressed. You can focus more. You can ask the right questions. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does work, it's not necessarily that you got to take it because again, you already have a job. So you can, sit back and be like, cool, I still got it. But yeah, that's my advice right there. Nothing wrong with that at all. Exploring your options, especially right now. Again, this is just like the early part of 2025. I just can't wait to see how in the middle and end and in 2026 is going to end up, feeling like, looking like. But in the comments, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree that there's nothing wrong with, brushing up your LinkedIn, brushing up your Indeed, brushing up your resume, going to some interviews, maybe online or maybe in person, just to get the skill set, and just to get your, your talking game back so that if you do get laid off, you can apply and be more confident? Or are you more on the side of just like, nope, I'm going to stay loyal to this company. I'm not going to brush up my LinkedIn. I'm not going to brush up my resume. I'm just going to stay stone cold hard here and it's going to work. And that's the end of it. I want to hear what side you're on. Maybe you might be more in the middle. Definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already too, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.